Up to this point, we've only used C's primitive types and arrays. Structs will let us build blocks of information that can get passed around together, and that'll make our code much cleaner. A lot of times, we have multiple pieces of information that, together, describe something. A temperature reading and the date that we took it, a person's name and address are good examples of this. C gives us a way to put them together with structs. As an example, here is a struct that I named player struct that contains two things: a 30-character array that can hold the string that is a player's name, and an int that holds the player's experience points. Every variable of this type will be able to hold both of those things. Let's look at how we can use that. First, I declare a variable whose name is Fred, whose type is struct player struct. Once we have that, we use the dot operator to access each of the fields within the struct. So, Fred.playerName gives us the char array, and we can use strcpy to give him a name. And we can use Fred.experiencePoints in an assignment statement to store the fact that he has 42 experience points. With the dot operator, we can use each field like it's a separate variable. See, we can print them out as if they were just a string and an int. Once we have a struct, we can make any number of variables of that type. But this is a lot of copy and paste code. We often make a function to create and initialize a struct. Let's look at that for this struct. The goal of this function is to create a player struct with the given name. The first thing to notice is that we can return a struct from a function. We can also use them as parameters. This function just creates the struct, gives it the name we want, and makes it have 0 experience points. With that, all that copy and paste code from before becomes 2 lines of code, and we can be sure that all of these structs get initialized the same way. That's good practice. C gives us another technique that we can use to clean things up. We can use Typedef to declare our own types. For example, we can define a type named temperature that will hold a double. That lets us declare variables to be of the type temperature. For example, here I declared a variable named noFever whose type is temperature. That has 2 benefits. First, it makes our code more readable. Now everyone knows what we want to store in that variable. Second, if, later, we need to change how we store a temperature, we only need to change the typedef. That will change the type for all of the variables that use that typedef. We can make a type for our struct, too. Put the word typedef before it, and the name we want to give it after it. Now we can just use player t instead of struct player struct. Much simpler. Let's clean up by using player t instead of struct player struct. The code does the same thing, just looks a little simpler. There's one more thing we need to know about structs: how to use pointers to structs. The goal of this function is to clear the experience points of a player. It has one input-output parameter, player pointer, which is a pointer to a player t. When we did this with primitive types, we used the asterisk to chase the pointer and work with the place it points at. We want to do the same thing here. We want to chase the pointer and then get the experience points field. Well, that syntax is a bit clumsy, and we do this a lot. So C gives us a simpler, more intuitive syntax for the same thing, the arrow operator. Both of these lines mean chase the pointer and then access the experience points field. So our function just sets the experience points to 0, and we can clear any player's experience points by passing a pointer to the player struct into the function. So, structs let us package multiple pieces of information into one data type. Once we have that type, it behaves like other types. We can pass them into functions. We can return them from functions. We can create input-output parameters by making pointers to them. We can use them in assignment statements, just like everything we did for other types. We can access any field within a struct using the dot operator if our variable's type is the struct, or with the arrow operator if the variable is a pointer to the struct. In addition to structs, we learned about Typedefs, which lets us name any type we want. That makes our code more readable because we know exactly what a variable was meant to hold. And it makes it easy to change how a type is stored in one place with the effect of changing all of the variables of that type. I think we need some more examples of this. For the next video, I'll go back to our stack code and clean it up by declaring a struct to hold all of the information our stack needed. Click above if you want to see what we already had for stacks, or click on the next video link to see how I'm cleaning it up. And there will be another, more fun example after that.